Hey, Miss Mays here, back again to do another installment for our Lucy Elementary Music and Choir group. This fall we will be doing Ode to Joy. Of course, that is Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, the most famous melodic line from that symphony. So what we will be doing is just a simple rendition of that wonderful song. We'll start with the basics today, and we will work each note, and then we will put it together in the full melody by the end of the video. Students, please take your time and review. Feel free to pause the video when you need to. Go back, try it again. Make sure we're using feather air. We talked about that soft air, and make sure we're using correct fingerings and Tupperware seals. So when we get to the low D, which is thumb 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, make sure we have those fingers down so that we have sealed all the holes. Now let's talk about your hand placement. Okay, the left hand has to be on top. Of course, this is my left hand and you're opposite of me. So if I was being your mirror, your left hand is here. So let's start with the notes. It starts on a B, and we know that our B is thumb and first finger. So say, this is my B. Second finger down, this is my A. Third finger down, this is my G. Our new notes for this year, this is our A. Lift your pointer finger, leaving your thumb on the back, and now just your middle on the second hole, and this is my C. Okay, let's go over that C again. If you have your A here, you just lift that first finger, and this is my C. It's thumb and middle. Now, the D, our next note, high D, we're going to take our thumb off, leaving just our middle finger down. Okay, so I'm going to set on B, and the first pattern in Ode to Joy is B, B, C, D. So I want you to watch again. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see my thumb a little better, because the thumb is actually coming off. Now I'm not flying away, but it is coming off. So it's B, B, C, D. B, B, C, D. So if you listen to it, and notice I'm using very feather air because the higher the note, the shorter distance the air travels down the column. Okay? And therefore you need less air. So it takes a lot of control. Also notice it's not a hoo, hoo. It's more of a duh, duh, duh. Okay? Listen one more time. You can play it with me if you have it. If not, go back and look at the first fingers. Now, from here, that's the first pattern. It goes back down. So you were up at D, now you're going to put your thumb down for C, back to B. This is what I call a flip-flop or a swip-swap, whichever one you want to call it. It's where the C to the B. And it's got to be real quick fingers, so you don't want to have your fingers way out here because you won't have time to get it down. So keep it fairly close to the keyboard or the fingerboard, and you're going to switch the fingers. C, B, C, B. And you got to do it really kind of in a quick motion. Don't be sluggish about it. Take a few moments and just get your hands to move that muscle, okay? And get that inner muscle. So it's C to B, D, C, B, D, C, B, D, C, B. Okay? I'm going to start at the beginning. I'm going to turn so you can see my thumb so when it comes out. So I've now completed B, B, C, D, D, C, B, the first part of the first line. Okay? So let's do that one more time. Take your time. The next note, we're going to go down to A, G. Okay? I'm adding those two notes. So now I've gone down to G. Okay? Let's do that one more time, just adding two more notes that you are very comfortable with, A and G. We've used them quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to add on to the pattern. When you get down to the G, it's going to go back up. Okay, so watch what happens. G, A, B, B, A. Listen again. B, B, A, A. Okay. Listen to that complete first line. This is only the first line of the melody. Listen to it completely. Move your fingers as I move mine, and then once you're ready, then you can play with me. And that's the first line of the melody. Let's do it again. The second line is almost the exactly same except the ending tag. So when you play the ending instead of B-A-A, it's B-A-G. Listen to the second line of the melody. So instead of staying on that B, you went A-G-G. Okay? Second line of the melody, listen again. It's the same as the first except for that last ending part. It's line number 2. I'm going to play line number 1 and line number 2 of the melody one more time. Okay, if you're following along on your music, then you are now completely through the first 2 lines, and we're heading towards that third line next. Here we go. First 2 lines. Those are the first 2 lines. I'm going to stop the video here. I'll have a follow-up video for the next 2 lines of the song. The next part requires you to do a lot of switching. So, tune in for video number 2 of the Ode to Joy. Our first video here has gone over the first 2 lines of the melody. So let's play it one more time before we sign off. And that's the first 2 lines. Check back for video number 2 for the third line and the fourth line and the completion of the melody.